The tension was unbearable. In a dimly lit operations room, a young woman's name flashed across the radio, and a seasoned SEAL commander froze mid-sentence. "That can't be her," he whispered, disbelief cracking his voice. Everyone in the room had dismissed her as inexperienced, maybe even a fraud, but the confirmation of her call sign over the radio shattered every assumption. This was no ordinary recruit. She was a force no one had anticipated. The morning air in the training compound was thick with tension, the kind that gnaws at the nerves of even the most seasoned soldiers. For her, every step felt heavier than the last. She was smaller than most of her peers, her frame seemingly ill-suited for the grueling demands of SEAL training. Yet she had a fire inside that refused to be extinguished. From the very first day, whispers followed her through the halls. Some doubted her physical strength. Others questioned whether she even belonged. Every time she lifted a weight, ran another mile, or completed yet another punishing drill, the skepticism only grew louder, but so did her resolve. Her instructors, unflinching and exacting, tested her in ways that seemed designed to break her. Obstacle courses that swallowed the unprepared, simulated combat scenarios that pushed endurance to its limit, and underwater exercises that tested every ounce of lung capacity were all part of her new reality. She stumbled more than once, struggled through exercises that seemed effortless for her peers, and often finished last in group tasks. Each setback drew sideways glances and muttered doubts from those around her, reinforcing the label she despised, the fraud. But she didn't flinch. Every failure became a lesson, every bruise a reminder of why she was there. Behind the closed doors of the barracks, she studied tirelessly. Maps, combat strategies, and mission protocols littered the small, sparse space she called her sanctuary. While others socialized or slept, she memorized procedures, learned every call sign, and dissected every SEAL operation she could find. The isolation wasn't lonely. It was purposeful. She understood that respect in this world wasn't given. It was earned through relentless effort. Still, the doubts of others weighed on her. Each smirk, each whisper about her supposed inadequacy, sharpened her focus rather than dulling it. By the end of those grueling weeks, she had transformed. Not in the eyes of everyone yet, but in her own. And she knew that one day, her abilities would speak louder than the rumors that shadowed her. The day of the operation dawned gray and ominous, the kind of morning that made even the most experienced SEALs double-check every piece of gear. Inside the briefing room, the air was thick with anticipation and quiet skepticism. She sat among them, her uniform impeccable, eyes sharp, heart pounding. Not from fear, but from the weight of expectation. Her peers had all seen her struggle during training, had whispered doubts about her capabilities, and some openly questioned her presence on a real mission. Yet here she was, ready to step into a world where mistakes could be fatal. The mission briefing was precise, almost surgical. Every detail mattered. Coordinates, enemy positions, extraction points, and contingencies. She absorbed every word, visualizing each scenario in her mind. Her attention to detail was impeccable, but even she couldn't ignore the subtle glances of doubt from the others. The SEAL commander, a man whose approval was earned through blood, sweat, and countless successful operations, studied her with a critical eye. To him, this mission would either prove her worth or expose her limits. The tension was palpable, and it seemed to hum in the room like electricity. As the team moved out, the stakes grew immediately apparent. The terrain was unforgiving, rocky ridges, dense foliage, and narrow valleys that could conceal threats at every turn. She felt the pressure mounting with each step, the knowledge that one miscalculation could jeopardize the entire operation. Her peers worked in tense silence, relying on experience and instinct, while she meticulously executed every procedure she had memorized, anticipating challenges before they arose. Despite the skepticism, she maneuvered with precision, handling communications, navigating the terrain, and responding to situations with a calmness that seemed almost unnatural. Slowly, the whispers of doubt in her mind began to fade. She wasn't just participating. She was performing at a level that demanded recognition. Yet the ultimate test, the moment that would determine whether she was truly one of them, was still ahead. The operation reached its critical point as the team approached a narrow ridge overlooking a hostile stronghold. Every sense was heightened: the rustle of leaves, the distant chatter of enemy forces, the subtle vibrations underfoot. The SEAL commander, leading from the front, gave precise hand signals, and the team responded with practiced fluidity. Yet despite their seamless coordination, the tension remained palpable. She moved with deliberate confidence, handling her equipment and monitoring communications with the steady focus that had become her hallmark. Then the moment of truth arrived. Enemy fire erupted from concealed positions, forcing the team to scatter and take cover. Chaos threatened to consume the operation, and in that instant, the radio crackled to life. A voice she had only heard in training, a voice of authority and experience, called out over the static. It was the SEAL commander's voice, but he didn't just issue orders. He confirmed her call sign. "Echo Tango 9, report," he demanded, and every head in the vicinity snapped toward her. The recognition wasn't just procedural. It was acknowledgement, validation of the skills, courage, and discipline she had honed under relentless scrutiny. The room, the ridge, and the chaos of the mission seemed to pause for a heartbeat as everyone absorbed the significance. The whispers of doubt evaporated instantly, replaced by stunned respect. The commander's voice, firm and unwavering, carried a message far beyond the radio waves. She belonged. Every calculated movement, every decisive action she had taken, now had tangible proof. Her peers, once skeptical, now watched with a mix of awe and newfound trust. In that moment, the label of fraud was obliterated, replaced by the undeniable truth of her capability. She was no longer just a recruit struggling for acceptance. She was a SEAL whose name and call sign commanded recognition. The mission continued, but the dynamic had shifted. From that ridge, it was clear to everyone. She was a force to be reckoned with, and the confirmation of her call sign had forever changed how she was seen.